Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the subconscious mind, which I believe is something very important to understand, especially if you're trying to improve your communication skills. The conscious mind is what I call the thinking mind. This is something that we use in order to, let's say, solve a certain problem. We need to think. And we need to think in a certain way where we're creating links that lead to a resolution. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is what I call the database mind. This is the mind that we can tap into when we're not thinking. Think about it like this. Imagine that one day you're driving and your passenger is a little kid who has no clue how to drive. He begins asking you questions. Hey, how are you able to drive while also playing with the radio? Don't you lose focus? That's when you think, wait a minute, I am technically driving this very heavy machine while also dialing and switching the knobs on the radio. This is somewhat complex, especially to this little kid. And you tell the little kid, well, I've practiced so much that at this point, it's not too much of an issue. And the little kid presses you further. Okay, what are you doing with your legs right there? And you tell the kid, well, there's a brake and then there's an accelerator. I'm hitting each one whenever I need to hit it. And then the kid asks you, well, how much pressure are you putting on the accelerator? Do you know that? You're like, no, not really. I'm just pressing it. Actually, now that you bring it up, my body is pretty much doing it. What's happening? Are you using the conscious mind or are you using the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind. You're not putting in actual thought into this act. Instead, it's something that's just happening. And this is something that we're capable of doing, which is very magical, but we undermine it for some reason. It's very magical that after a certain amount of reps that we put into a certain skill set, it just begins to be a part of our life. It's sort of like us breathing at this point. And the thing is, whenever you're putting too much conscious activity to something that's supposed to be subconscious, that's when you're sort of like that guy who's getting confused by basic questions that the kid is asking you. You see? So a lot of the times, some of the greatest folks will say, look, I practice a lot. But when I'm playing the game, I don't want to just be thinking all the time. I practice so I don't have to think in the game. When a basketball player, for example, is shooting free throws, he's all focus within the practice session. But by the time that it's game 7 of the NBA Finals, they don't want to overthink everything. They just understand that they have practiced it enough. It's in their subconscious mind, and now they just need to relax. So mastery is typically reached by putting in a whole bunch of reps and then learning the art of relaxing. The subconscious mind is what I call the database mind. And if you really understand what the subconscious mind is about, then you should get this fascination with driving. Wow, I'm capable of driving without even thinking about it. And you should get that line of thinking and apply it to any skill set that you desire. Why can't you take that same line of thinking where, wow, I could do this powerful task and not think about it, and apply it to public speaking, apply it to writing, apply it to making YouTube videos, something. The more that you understand that the subconscious mind is a database, and after you keep repeating it over and over with a certain task, that it's going to be inside the subconscious mind, and now you just gotta relax, you can learn anything. So with this mindset, I believe it's very fascinating. It's something that should make you feel excited to learn, and it should make you feel excited to be somewhat confused at times when you're doing powerful things in a very basic sort of way. A kid asks you a basic question, and it makes you realize, wow, I really am doing a powerful thing right now, but I guess I've been taking it for granted. Thank you, little kid, for asking me this basic question to bring awareness to this powerful task that I'm doing. If you enjoyed today's talk, Be sure to drop that like for me right on below. Share this video on your social media of choice. And thank you very much for joining me.